are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas in Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today, it's a Week 14 matchup that should be a good one between the Houston Texans and the Dallas Cowboys. Two teams trying to stake their claim to postseason football. Week 14 of the NFL is underway. From the 6. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he'll power his way up near the 25. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he's got room. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. Touchdown, Cowboys. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. By rule, that comes out to the 40-yard line, so good opportunity for this offense with solid field position. Good starting field position for the Houston Texans here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Now it's Ryan. Swings this one out wide for Pierce. Call it a gain of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I'm looking at this with my defensive eyeglasses on because you remember the old days when a tight end saw a linebacker covering him and thought he had a mismatch? But the way they can run nowadays, not necessarily so. They gave it a shot downfield. That one incomplete.
On 3rd down, Ryan. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Well, that is a running back who is not about to go down easily. He fought his way through the contact until the C's opened up for him. And a couple of yards as they move it from the 21 to the 19.
And with a guy his size, you have to know defensively that arm tackles aren't going to fly with him. You have to be able to wrap up, or else he can just brush tacklers aside like they're not even there.
Play action, Ryan. And the next-gen touchdown, Texans. O.J. Howard, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Texans have tied the ball game with a chance to take the lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And they take the lead here at 7-6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Christian Harris. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's 3rd and long. Off the play fake, Prescott. Under pressure, they got him again. The sack there by Rasheem Green.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like right at the 40. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were excellent a week ago in that victory over Indianapolis.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. These two teams, if you look back to 2021, quite a disparity between these two Lone Star State offenses. Last season, the Cowboys #1 in the league in terms of total yardage, and meanwhile the Texans, we know about all the struggles that they had. They came in at number 32, which is dead last. On 3rd down, here's Pierce.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
After one, a 1-point game, 7-6. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on third down. Prescott to throw it. He'll buy some time right. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down. So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. On fourth down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. At their own 20-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there. It was a quick 3 and out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And he's got nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. The 30. 10. Touchdown, Houston. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead is up to 8. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. The Cowboys take over first and 10 at their own 15-yard line. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone. On second down, Elliott once more. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. On first and 10, Prescott. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. The Cowboys at 8-4 now in the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind. And the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
On second down, Elliott. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 117 yards rushing down for Zeke, and he's got a first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Running the jet sweep as Prescott bats it forward. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Inside give to Elliott. And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory. Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. To throw is Prescott. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Running the jet sweep as Prescott bats it forward. What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Ezekiel Elliott, his 12th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Cowboys have come back to make it a 2-point game. Prescott, they're going to throw for it. Flushed out right. And he'll get into the end zone, and those 2 points are going to tie the game. And with a successful 2-point try, the QB rolling out, I would imagine on the defense that makes it tough. When he goes out, he's got the option to run or pass. Yeah, it really does. If you decide not to bring extra people or extra pressure, maybe you have to have a spy on the quarterback, someone to account for him, because oftentimes that is the unaccounted for player. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here. And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one. And he will make his way back to where he started from, and that's all, as we will make our way to the 2-minute warning. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game. I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them. Going for it with Pierce. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Now on 4th down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is fielded at the 7. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Cowboys will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points. Yeah, a little bit more of a... Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. The 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Cowboys are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. This time, the extra point up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. The kick team out there for the Cowboys as they run up to send this one away. From his end zone, here's Tremon Smith. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it 1st and 10. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line.
123 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
1st down, they go right back to Pierce.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
1st and 10, it's Pierce.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
On 2nd down, here's Pierce.
Now the stiff arm created some space initially, but he's taken down not long after. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
They'll go right back to Pierce.
And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away.
And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. The clock showing just 16 seconds till the half as they line up 1st and 10. Here's Prescott.
That is caught by Lamb.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
So we have come to halftime here in Dallas with the Cowboys out in front. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the 2nd half.
On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, Charles, we saw a pretty entertaining first half, close ball game. Remember there toward the end of the 2nd quarter, the opposition scored to take the lead. Now we'll see if these guys can get a score of their own to regain that lead.
Yeah, they want to have that type of a response, don't they? Because they want to find a way to take control of this ball game one more time. Gauntlet's been thrown down. They want to see if they're ready to answer it.
And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
Give left side for Pierce.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now they'll throw it with Ryan.
Gets the dump off to Pierce.
And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it could turn into a big gain downfield. but what a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. To throw is Ryan. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. So that, a real wrench thrown in now for this offense. They're trying to make a game of this in the third quarter, but that is not going to help.
Yeah, partner, probably should have used a different tool on that play, right? That ultimately is the kind of play where you can lose a ball game instead of being in a position to win.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Out of the end zone comes Smith. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They'll start on the ground with Pierce. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. And Pierce gets it again on second down. And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Ryan. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Pierce gets this one running right. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They'll get 13 yards for the 2nd play in a row. Couple of first downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46. Another carry for Pierce. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Off the play fake. Here's Ryan. That'll be caught. It's the tight end, Howard. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 22 yards there, a 1st down. Hand off right side to Pierce. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And Pierce gets it again on 2nd down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. An 8-play drive to this point. So here's play number 9 on 3rd and 7. Pierce takes it straight ahead. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down.
A great job there by this defense. They give up the long drive, but in the end, it looks like they'll force a field goal attempt.
Fourth down. Here's Ryan. And it's going to be batted down. And we'll go the other way with the football. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th. And the Cowboys defense is going to get them the football back. A little jet sweep to start the drive. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. Well, I think the hope is, with a touch pass like that, that maybe you catch the defense off guard, but they were all over that one.
And it is the kind of play that works better against certain defenses, and this clearly was the wrong one to run into.
Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. He'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's third down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will back now in Arlington. It's the Cowboys with a football. They'll be looking to tack on to their lead as we get set for the fourth. They'll need a big play here. Will Dak and the Cowboys after the sack. It's third and long. Up the middle. Here's Elliott. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a fourth down now. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Dallas. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. That's returnable now for Smith. And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Texans will take over. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
Pierce now up the middle. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. They go again with Pierce. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Play action. It's Ryan. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now Ryan. Finds his man. It's John Mechie. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 39. Here's Ryan to throw. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here in this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Ryan.
Open man there is Collins, complete. He's going to pick up the first down and then some.
Touchdown!
Nico Collins.
His first touchdown on the year.
And the Texans have made it a 1-score game again here in the fourth.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
And with that last touchdown, I mean, we're set up for a good finish here. Some things to consider, Charles. Obviously, it's a very close game.
Here in the fourth quarter, defensively, they've got all 3 timeouts in their back pocket.
So the chess match really ramps up, doesn't it? Because in these situations, what do? Do you run the ball and kill the clock here? Or do you try and bury them with another score? And how about defensively? Do you use your timeouts at the earliest opportunity? Or wait till you hit the 2-minute warning? So there's a lot going into this one. Let's see how each side goes about their strategy.
Now on 2nd and 13. Prescott. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Desmond King picks it. A seismic shift in momentum here in the fourth quarter. That's the break that the defense needed.
And you know as well as I do, people are going to question the play call in that situation. Sometimes you have to question the execution, not necessarily the call. And in this case, those defenders found a way to give their team a chance.
Breaks the tackle. He's got room to run. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Boy, 208 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Give to Pierce. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now a handoff for Pierce. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7. But first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll run here with Pierce. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And they're knocking on the door. 2nd and goal now in a 1-score game. Back at the 5-yard line now. 2nd and goal. Handoff left side. Pierce. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. They'll try to run with Pierce. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
They'll try and run for it. And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. They'll get neither the touchdown nor the first down. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. They'll try and run some clock now with Elliott. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And he gets this one just shy of the 35 to the 34. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. Boy, an effective play there, getting their wideouts involved in the run game.
Well, they're always hoping on that type of a play that they can get to the end of the line and have a chance to turn it upfield as he did there. That means they controlled the blocking and took care of the defensive end or the outside linebacker to give him that lane.
And I guess I need to clarify. I said getting their wideouts involved in the run game, but of course that was actually a pass as he popped it forward.
He's going to loft one deep left side here. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Absolutely no disguise on that one. They just went for it. Put him out there and said, go deep. Let's try and hit him. Unfortunately, to no avail.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
On to punt now, Anger, as he boots this one away.
And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
A kind of a lucky break on the prior drive, Charles. The turnover on downs that the offense had didn't come back to bite them after the others. And the comeback may stall out. It's intercepted. Picked off by Trayvon Diggs.
Well, NFL quarterbacks have learned the hard way. You're not going to get rich throwing against this guy. He's definitely too good. And this is now his 2nd interception of the ball game. And if I'm running the offense, I've got to tell my guys, you've got to go work on the other corner.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep. And he'll get this down only to about the 46.
Well, we all just got a heck of a show, partner. This was a close game for a long time. Close at half, close down the stretch. Home team finds a way to get it done, a narrow victory.
Yeah, they finished with a flourish, didn't they? Because there were times where each side looked like they were the better team out there. And the outcome is in doubt for much of this game. Every snap seemingly more important than the previous one. Great effort from the guys visiting, but in the end, how about those guys in their home stadium finding a way to win?
So for the Cowboys, it's a very important win as they move to 9-4 now on the year. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Texans, it's just their 3rd loss as they fall now to 10-3. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs.